I'm going to try to keep this video to a minimal. Not only do I not have enough time to get all the information I want to get in order to do a regular prediction video, but I also think that I can keep this video brief while still getting my point across. Because next time on Death Battle, we have Captain Marvel from Marvel, formerly known as Ms. Marvel, and a couple of other names, versus Shazam, formerly known as Captain Marvel, and he's from DC. The name Captain Marvel has a really complicated history, flip-flopping back between the two companies, and that's how legally they're both able to use the name at certain points. But now we just have Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, versus Shazam, aka Billy Batson. I understand why they're doing this fight, I really do. Because obviously, you know, they have the whole Captain Marvel backstory, which is a really cool history. It's a really cool backstory. I really like it. I guess I could say that. And, you know, obviously both of their movies are coming out, or Captain Marvel has already come out, and Shazam is coming out really rather soon, actually. So yeah, it's the perfect time to, I guess, you know, celebrate both of the movies. So I do understand where they're coming from with this fight. However, at the same time, I feel that this fight is pretty one-sided. I've thought about this fight before, even before Death Battle announced it, and I always thought, you know, there's an obvious winner to this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this fight is actually pretty dang close, or maybe what I say is completely wrong and the other character wins. And if that's the case, then this is pretty embarrassing. But honestly, I definitely think that Shazam is the winner of this fight. I definitely think that Shazam is going to win. And I don't love Captain Marvel. I don't love her. She's a cool character, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I like Shazam a lot more than I do Captain Marvel. I'm just gonna get that bias out of the way. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sad that I think she is going to lose again. She lost to Android 18 before, I think, was it like a year ago, 2 years ago? And I think she's gonna lose to Shazam too. I think that Shazam is just on another level than Captain Marvel is. Again, I'm not gonna go too into detail with everything that they have. I'm still gonna try my best, but here's basically what I have to say about their categories. When it comes to strength, this is a little hard to explain. All the categories are a little hard to explain because I can throw numbers out as much as I want, but to me, it just seems like common knowledge that Shazam is just on another level. I've always seen Shazam as more of a Superman or Thor or Wonder Woman even level character, and I just think that Captain Marvel is not at that level. She is very powerful, trust me, don't get me wrong, she is very powerful, and she's able to take on some really powerful characters in the Avengers and even beyond that. But Captain Marvel is just one of those, like, god-tier characters in the DC universe, and when you're that level, you know, that level in the DC universe, you're pretty dang strong. Like, let's talk about strength. So, I remember in the Death Battle episode, they talked about how there was a recorded punch or something that Captain Marvel did, which exerted 92 tons of force. Now, I'm not trying to say that this is the maximum level of strength that Captain Marvel can exert, because honestly, I'd like to think that she can exert more. But when you're comparing that to something like Shazam, it doesn't add up. Even if you want to say, you know, she's comparable to some strong characters like, you know, Iron Man, who's still really strong. You know, he's able to lift like 100 tons in a standard Iron Man suit. Or even someone, you know, like Submariner or something. You know, Shazam is able to catch an aircraft carrier, I believe. Not just, like, lift it, but actually catch it, which can weigh, like, over 100,000 tons. Like, that's ridiculous. That number alone already blows the 92 plus tons out of the water. And while it might be more than 92 tons of force that she can exert, I don't think it's that level. And Shazam can even create black holes just by punching. Like, he can punch the air and he can create a black hole with enough force. This is about where he's reaching his max, I presume, but it's just not... Like, Captain Marvel is just not at that same level, I feel. Like, Captain Marvel definitely can't do that. I'm pretty dang sure she can't do that, at least in a regular form, but we'll get into binary in a little bit, you know, how that plays into the fight. But in terms of strength, I definitely think that Shazam is the advantage. He just has better, more consistent feats, and he's fighting characters like Superman. And yes, he has magic that really helps in those kinds of fights, but, you know, Captain Marvel, even if she is able to fight characters like Hulk, I just think that from their own feats, Shazam is just better. He's more consistent, better feats, and while Captain Marvel is powerful, she's just not to that same level. And when it comes to speed, this one is even more ridiculous. Possibly, you could say it's even more ridiculous. But here's how I see it. if they're still going off of the idea that Captain Marvel's best speed feat is Mach 247, like flying from the Earth's surface to the top of the atmosphere in under 2 minutes, because she said that it is her personal record, if she hasn't gotten any better feats since then Captain Marvel is way faster than, Shazam is way faster than Captain Marvel is. Shazam, I believe, he's basically confirmed to be massively faster than light. Like, he can keep up with Superman. He once caught up to an exhausted Flash, but catching up to the Flash under any circumstances is pretty ridiculous. And he can, like, move, act, fight, think, all of that stuff at massively faster than light speeds. Lowballing it and saying that he's, like, 1 times the speed of light. The speed of light is still approaching Mach 900,000, and we're looking at that number versus Mach 247. And regardless of whether or not she's gotten faster, I definitely don't think she's gotten up to that level. And I'm not even saying, not to the massively faster than light stage. I'm saying, like, the speed of light stage, or even, like, a fraction of that. I just don't think she's that kind of character. Whereas Shazam, I think he's just, again, one of those god-tier characters, and the speedsters of the DC Universe are freaking insane. And when it comes to durability, this one's a little harder to talk about because, both of these characters have taken a lot of impact forces from some of the heaviest hitters in their universes, again, like Hulk and Superman, which makes sense, they're really tough characters. But Shazam is one of those characters that, he's basically invulnerable to everything except a select few things. In this case, it's magic and electricity, because a strong enough electric shock can turn him back into Billy Batson, and magical attacks definitely have a better chance of hurting him than regular attacks, much like in a Superman-like way. So that makes sense. But to me, yeah, it's just, Captain Marvel is not that durable. She's not invulnerable to anything. I feel like Shazam just would be able to take more impact forces. And when it comes to stamina, if we're taking it literally and saying that he has the stamina of Atlas, that would imply that he has unlimited stamina because Atlas is able to hold up the sky forever. And if we're talking it in a not-so-literal way, he's still been able to fight characters for weeks or even months on end without even showing any signs of tiring. So just think how long he could go with his max, assuming that he doesn't have unlimited stamina. And again, while Captain Marvel is powerful, I don't believe that she can fight forever. I just don't think she can. And again, I didn't do a huge amount of research on this one, but that's just because I think that this fight is really obvious. I just really do think so. And then there are some categories where they do seem to be pretty even. Like if we're talking about energy projection, she has her photon blasts, and Captain Marvel has his electric blast. I believe he also has a thing called the Electro Blast, which is like a mix between magic and electricity. I believe both of them have ways of, like, amping up their energy projection, so there's that. Both of them are pretty much exactly equal in terms of versatility, considering that each of them really only have one energy projection attack, and they, they're just really strong and fast and durable and all that good stuff. So neither of them are ridiculously versatile. And when it comes to intelligence, this one's a hard one, because Billy Batson is still a kid. Shazam is still a kid in an adult's body, but he gets the intellect of Solomon. He gets genius-level intellect and becomes an amazing strategist, even though he is still a kid. And he has a good amount of experience. And when it comes to Captain Marvel, she also has a great amount of experience, we know that. But sometimes, and she is a good strategist too, but she sometimes runs in head first without thinking things through. Death Battle even mentioned this in the last episode, that sometimes she can go, she's headstrong, and she doesn't really think before entering a fight, which kind of sounds childlike, kind of like Shazam. So I think both of them are really intelligent, but if we're talking about overall intelligence, again, Shazam getting the intelligence, like genius-level intellect, intelligence of Solomon, that's pretty damn good to have. And while Captain Marvel might be a little more level-headed than Shazam is, I don't think that it's big enough for the tides to turn in her favor. One big thing I want to bring up, though, is binary. Captain Marvel's binary form. I will, give Captain Marvel the credit she deserves. I think that she can definitely reach the binary form when she's fighting Shazam. Because they even mentioned in the previous fight, the Android 18 versus Captain Marvel, that she even said absorbing anything from electricity to magic. And those are literally the two things that Shazam has going for him, other than regular strength, speed, and durability and everything like that. So that's actually pretty funny. But when you look at that, that means that I think that she could definitely absorb the energy attacks that Shazam has, and I think she could definitely reach the binary form. And this allows her to destroy planets, which is really powerful, but to me, that honestly just more so matches with Shazam, not really surpassing him. Much in the same way they said in Android 18 versus Captain Marvel, how like the only way that Captain Marvel could reach Android 18's stats is by reaching her to her binary form. I think that, Captain Marvel, it's the same thing here. It's like Shazam, again, being more comparable to characters like Thor and Superman, being able to create black holes just by punching. I think that the binary form is more on par with Shazam. And even then, that's up for debate. I'm not even sure if even then I would put her, I still wouldn't put her at massively faster than light, even in her binary form. I still wouldn't do that. And we know that she's not the best at absorbing energy. She can still be caught off guard and it can still hit her. And with Shazam's speed, I feel like Shazam's speed is enough to win him the fight on its own. So the fact that he has all of these advantages over her, all the physical advantages, I just think that that means that Shazam has this fight made for him. I really, really do. I think that Captain Marvel could reach her binary form, and that definitely does help to even the odds, but I don't think that it's going to be enough for her. Even in binary, I think that I think that Shazam is just more powerful. He's stronger, he's faster, he's more durable, he's got more power to him, he can last longer in a fight. I just think he's got this one. I really, really do. And there are categories where they do seem pretty even, or at least the margins are so small that it really doesn't make a difference. But I just think that Shazam has this one. This is the most confident I've been in a death battle prediction for a very long time. And a lot of other people I know have also been saying this. If you think Captain Marvel wins, let me know in the comments below, because I'd really like to hear what you have to say. But to me, again, Shazam is just on another tier. He has better feats, more consistent feats when it comes to being that powerful. And again, with Captain Marvel's feats, even though she's gotten more powerful as time has gone on in the comics, I don't think it's to the level of Shazam. I just think that Shazam is stronger, he's faster, he's more durable, he's more powerful, and he, in some ways he's smarter, and I think he can last longer in a fight. Again, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If I get this wrong, this will be pretty embarrassing, but I do think that Shazam is going to win this one. So that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. For me, Shazam for the win.